tell that cook he better not screw up them steaks. We're kind of particular about our meat.
Whatever the occasion, a nice steak dinner has long been synonymous with sophistication, class, and absolutely mouth-watering flavor. So let's help you with where to eat next by counting down the top 10 best National Steakhouse chains.
You want your steak?
Bring it over.
Longhorn Steakhouse.
The best Longhorn ever?
Most of the steakhouses listed have a long-standing history of serving delicious steaks. Longhorn Steakhouse is no exception. But it's interesting to note that the word steakhouse was not always associated with the Longhorn. The original Longhorn location was actually previously run as an adult bookstore. When the owners took over the building in the 1970s, they knew that they were changing the landscape, and it seemed as though the local clientele was less than happy about the change.
No! God, please, no! No!
Sales at the restaurant were very dismal in the first year, almost leading to a dystopian-like future in which the Longhorn never existed. Luckily for the owners, one evening after an intense snowstorm left most of the other businesses in town scrambling for power, the Longhorn was able to keep its doors open and establish its first real customer base, the definition of a perfect storm. Basically, one of the best things about Longhorn Steakhouse is their transparency when it comes to their ingredients and their preparation techniques. Not only are many of the recipes available on the website, but new recipes from their high-end chefs are also shared. And if that's not enough, Longhorn offers a helpline to assist with all grilling questions and inquiries. So whether you're dining in or having a nice steak dinner at home, Longhorn Steakhouse will make sure you never have a bad steak again. Now that's having your back. The Capital Grille.
Let's see, 1200 at Capital Grille.
The Capital Grille is one of those rare restaurants where you can get a high quality and delicious meal in a luxurious setting for a reasonable price. The restaurant's design and architecture bring out the best from the golden era of Hollywood, a beautiful restaurant where you can sit in awe of not only your steak, but the amazing decor as well. Apparently, beautiful views are also important to the owners, meaning some Capital Grille restaurants overlook beautiful sights, such as the Las Vegas Strip and the Washington skyline. After sitting down, customers will not only be overjoyed with the level of elegance the restaurant provides, but also with how reasonable and delicious the menu items are for such a seemingly high-scale establishment. A nice view and a great meal without having to remortgage the house. Who wouldn't want that?
I want that.
One of the most important distinctions of the Capital Grille steak is the dry aging process that helps deliver top-notch flavor and consistency. Capital Grille claims this is what separates their steaks from the competition. The grill is also well known for its wide assortment of wines. They offer multiple pairing options of different varieties to ensure that your meal is topped off perfectly. Texas de Brazil.
Where?
Texas.
The next steakhouse on the list serves their meals in a much different manner than the traditional plated dinner services that Americans are accustomed to. Texas de Brazil takes a more hands-on and personal approach by using what some refer to as the gaucho or local cowboy service. It involves carving the sizzling and juicy meat directly at the table. The dinner service proves not only to be a fascinating and delicious way to ensure that the meat is literally as fresh as possible before being served, but it also creates an extremely fun and exciting dinner service for the entire party. Everyone from little kids to grandparents loves to watch the process of the gaucho service, and it has helped to establish the Texas de Brazil as an iconic American steakhouse. Texas de Brazil has another trick up their sleeve that has helped them gain a huge fan following. They promise good old-fashioned Texan hospitality.
Texas.
The restaurant first opened in the Texas countryside and has since branched out across the United States, but never lost sight of its vision. When customers arrive, they are greeted warmly, beverages are filled whenever needed, and there's an assortment of carved meats like beef, chicken, and Brazilian sausage for your choosing. The service and the food are so good, one trip to Texas de Brazil will never be enough. The Cheesecake Factory.
What's new at the Cheesecake Factory?
Okay, the Cheesecake Factory may not be the first place that comes to mind in terms of steakhouses, but with a menu as long as Santa's nice and naughty list, they've mastered a wide variety of styles, with steaks remaining one of their signature dishes. With the Cheesecake Factory, you may come for the cheesecake, but you'll be staying for the steak as well. The restaurant doesn't have a wide variety of cuts, however, they have chosen to stick with a few staples that are guaranteed to please. With everything from steak carne asada to the filet mignon with New York strip and grilled ribeye in the spotlight, there's no doubt that even the biggest steak fan will be pleased with a beautiful, mouth-watering meal from the Cheesecake Factory. One of the other phenomenal aspects of this restaurant is the fact that there are so many options. It's hard to keep track. The menu features superfood meal options as well as calorie savers with beautiful dishes like vegan salads and Tuscan chicken. To finish things off, no one can pass up what the restaurant was appropriately named after, a beautiful, tall slice of cheesecake.
I bought you some cheesecake.
The restaurant offers up dozens of cheesecake flavors, which will keep you coming back again and again just for the beautiful dessert. Options like toasted marshmallow s'more and pineapple upside-down cheesecake are some of the more exciting options listed if you want to branch out from the classic strawberry cheesecake. Most importantly, the Cheesecake Factory is always prepared for the holidays with flavors like pumpkin pie and peppermint bark, steak and cheesecake, an unlikely match made in heaven. Fleming's Prime Steakhouse and Bar.
Well, it's a steakhouse.
Fleming's is one of the newest steakhouses listed, but that doesn't mean that they're lacking in experience. While only being in business for just over 20 years, Fleming's is known for its beautiful steaks and outstanding service. In just a short few decades, Fleming's has expanded to feature dozens of restaurants in multiple states across the entire U.S. With good food and good service, it's much easier for a restaurant to establish itself and catch on. Although traditionally the restaurant has offered classic in-store dining, due to pandemic restrictions, Fleming's has once again proven to be forward-thinking by offering up new and incredible takeout menus for their closed locations.
I'll get the takeout menus.
Just because the restaurant is closed doesn't mean you can't still get the great taste of that Fleming's steak that you've been craving. The best menu options are available as takeout meals, but Fleming's is also offering up specialty family feast intended to feed the entire gang for one reasonable price. Families can now get a full meal of steaks with all the sides and fixings delivered straight to their front door. Why not get dressed up and go nowhere and order in a nice steak dinner? Quaker Steak and Lube.
Steak night.
The story of Quaker Steak and Lube has been one of the most interesting restaurant origin stories ever. In the 1970s, as the gas crisis loomed across North America, big cars began to lose their prestige and travel soon shifted from being a stylish status symbol to an efficient mode of transportation. As cars became cheaper and modernized for the changing world, Quaker Steak and Lube became a haven for cars that needed a place of not only sanctuary but also proper recognition.
Finally, some recognition.
When the restaurant opened up, they put their first car on display, a Chevrolet from 1936. From there, the restaurant boomed in popularity, and it wasn't long before they were snatching up locations for franchises, but also snatching up more and more nostalgic classic cars. Today, the restaurant serves an assortment of meal options alongside the displays of wondrous motor vehicles of decades past, but their steak is one of the best and most popular menu options for their closed locations. Stop into the next Quaker Steak and Lube you see and be transported to a romantic mosaic of American automotive history. With multiple menu items having won awards, it's time to give something old a new try. Logan's Roadhouse.
9:30 the Roadhouse.
Logan's Roadhouse has to be one of the most laid-back steakhouses on this list. It's the type of restaurant that you can find a filling meal after a long day with a perfect-sized steak. There are also plenty of other options for those who may not be craving a steak or have dietary restrictions. What's the absolute best part about Logan's? You get a non-stop supply of peanuts. There are buckets on the tables to discard your peanut shells, but anyone who's ever partaken in a steak dinner at Logan's knows that the floor is often a battleground of empty peanut shells. After starting out with some salty peanuts, the restaurant isn't done pleasing the crowd just yet. Although it's customary for free bread to be served at many restaurants, the yeast rolls prepared hot and fresh at Logan's with delicious whipped honey butter cannot be beaten. These buns are like eating pure bliss. Just try not to fill up on peanuts and buns before your steak dinner even arrives. The steak dinner, which is incredibly affordable, may not be the highest quality of steak cut, but you'd be hard-pressed to find a customer who was displeased with their meal. From the warm and wonderful staff to the delicious and tender steaks they serve, Logan's Roadhouse is easily one of the best places around for a good old-fashioned steakhouse meal. Outback Steakhouse.
Outback Steakhouse. I'm Australian, mate.
Anyone who's ever visited an Outback Steakhouse can attest to the deliciousness of the meals they serve. One of the best things about Outback is that, although it's easily one of the best restaurants on this list, it also happens to be one of the most affordable. Outback Steakhouse takes a steak dinner and not only makes it an acceptable meal for date night, but also for family dinner night. The restaurant theme is centered around the Australian outback, which makes for some extremely fun decor as well as menu names. From first entering the restaurant, customers are hit with an assortment of different aromas, everything from classic steaks on the grill to hot and fresh honey wheat bread. Upon sitting down, customers are given a menu that includes easy-to-go meals like chicken fingers for the kids and the classic Outback special.
That's something special.
The Outback Special is the must-have meal for any first-timer visiting the restaurant. Oh, and don't forget one of the best appetizers on the planet, the blooming onion, to pair with the assortment of items that make up the Outback Special. The meal comes complete with either a soup or salad to complement that down-under steak dinner experience, which features a beautiful steak cut and cooked to the customer's choosing, and 2 delicious sides. Customers can pick everything from delicious fully loaded baked potatoes to fresh steamed vegetables. There's one guarantee when eating at the Outback: you'll be back soon. Cheers, mate! Morton's the Steakhouse.
We'll go to Morton's, have a steak.
When someone is looking for a perfect steak in a beautiful setting, look no further than Morton's. Morton's Steakhouse is the type of restaurant where you can rest assured that although the meal may cost a little bit more than the average dinner out, it's going to be flavorful and worth every penny. One little fact that only a few people know is that although Morton's is now a high-class dinner establishment, it originally started out as a hamburger joint.
Want another hamburger?
Considering that the restaurant only serves cuts from the top 2% of beef available in the United States, it makes sense that it has had such consistent success. Morton's restaurants are not only found in the US but have also branched out internationally and established locations in places like Shanghai and Toronto. With steaks this good, Americans couldn't keep them all to themselves. Things in life happen for a reason, and apparently for Morton's, the move from the burger joint to the steakhouse has provided nothing but success. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
This is just a cheaper knockoff of Ruth's.
The story of Ruth's Chris is true evidence of the human spirit and female empowerment. As a single mother of 2, Ruth Fertile was willing to bet on herself when she mortgaged her home and purchased the Chris Steakhouse in New Orleans. It was not easy and many hours were put in, but through determination, hard work, and lots of help, Ruth was able to transform what was once a single steakhouse serving the community into a multi-location franchise known as Ruth's Chris. Although the restaurant may have started from humbling beginnings, it has expanded and set itself apart from other American steakhouse restaurant chains as one of the most exclusive and reputable out there.
Very exclusive.
The prices of these steaks are significantly higher than some of the more commonly seen listed chains. However, if you're able to splurge for an amazing meal, you will surely not be disappointed. If you're not a fan of steak, some of the other menu options are offered at a lower price point and provide equal quality and an exciting flavor profile. One thing seems to be certain: even though this restaurant offers a variety of steak toppings, the high-quality cuts of meat combined with impeccable cooking skills means that these steaks are best enjoyed solo. This may not be an everyday kind of restaurant, but certainly one you should consider for your next birthday or anniversary. You won't regret it. We've got more. Just tap or click for another great video. Hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notification squad.